educational in nature and is not financial advice. Trading involves risks and do your own research before making decisions. Hi, how are you in the mood? I hope you are serious because this video could be an important point in your journey. Let's be honest. You want to figure out how to align your work so that it produces good results without grilling shifts, without pressure, and without feeling like you're wasting your time. If this is about you, you're at the right place. My name is Evelyn. I've been studying trading for over 10 years, working with different approaches and analyzing what really helps people achieve stability. Everything I'll be showing in this video is a practical, easy to understand plan that you can start applying even if you're just at the beginning of your journey. My goal is not to impress you with buzzwords, but to show you what a systematic approach looks like that works in real life, without guesswork or chaos. If it's important for you to figure it out and make an informed first step, see it through to the end. In the finale, I'll tell you where you can access materials and an environment where beginners can learn more effectively. Shall we get started? Friends, if you would like to go deeper into trading and understand what it consists of, I have a special community where I go through all the key elements of my approach in detail. There is no theory for theory's sake, just step-by-step explanations based on what works effectively and what I've tested over the past 10 years. It's a space where you're not left alone with questions. Everything is set up so that even a new participant will understand where to start and how to move forward. Many of the participants came without experience, but already on the first steps, they felt confidence, calmness, and understanding. For some, it became an opportunity to close their life needs. For some, it helped them to establish a routine. For others, just to feel that they are finally moving in the right direction. It's free to join, link below this video in the pinned comment. Don't delay, it might be exactly what you've been looking for a long time. Now, I want to show you one of my strategies that has been producing good results for several years. Let's go. Well, let's finally get to the session. I have already opened the platform. You can see on your screen what it looks like. It remains to set the settings I need, choose pairs and indicators. Hopefully, today's indicator will allow me to make more informed choices. Okay, the settings are set and I'm ready to begin. On the chart, the upward movement is preserved and the current pause looks like a temporary slowdown. The value is approaching the area from which the movement in the opposite direction often started earlier. From my observations, this may be an important level to watch out for. Additional parameters indicate that the trend is still strong, so a continuation of the upward movement remains likely. We can see the further behavior of the chart and it corresponds to my forecast. Now, let's move on. The situation on the chart indicates a continuation of the upward movement, so I'm going up. Before that, the line was fluctuating back and forth, but now it has returned to the upper boundary. This behavior is a classic retest. Taking into account the general direction and market behavior, let's take off. Here we have seen how the market tests the level, and it is not a bad visual example. Let's move on. This is where I draw my conclusions almost immediately. We're heading up again, and now I will explain why. The chart here breaks a level and now does a quick retest. This is when, after a breakdown, the chart line comes back up almost immediately to see if it can hold higher. I would compare it to a door you open with a key, but then push it open just in case to make sure it's open. The indicator is showing upward movement, which means the trend is continuing. Alright folks, let's move on to the next couple. There are signs of a reversal here. After the previous pair, the chart updated the maximum again, but the indicators say something else. There is a divergence. On the chart, we see growth, but on the indicator, on the contrary, a decline. It's like a car gaining speed but running out of fuel. Such an imbalance often indicates that the buyer's momentum is weakening. I intend to go down. this case, the indicator helped us to notice the weakening of the movement. Let's move on. If you're interested in learning how to understand, how to analyze and make decisions without rushing and guessing, welcome to my community. There, I explain in simple language the key points of analysis, what you should really pay attention to, and how to build your system step by step. This is not dry theory. I regularly show you how to put this knowledge into practice so that you don't have any questions. Everything happens in a live format, and you can see how the whole process works from start to finish. This training is especially useful for those who don't want to waste time with chaos and haphazard attempts to figure things out on their own. No pressure, no overwhelm, just clear steps and support. Access is now open. You can join right at the link below this video in the pinned comment. Don't procrastinate. If it's responding inside, it's time to take action. See you in the community. And we're continuing. The scenario that I assumed was confirmed. The movement did not hold at the level and continued to decline. Now the descending dynamics is clearly visible on the chart, and I'm just following it. Acting in the opposite direction is not the most rational idea. It is much more logical to use the current situation to your advantage. Additional parameters also show that the downward movement continues, so the chosen course looks reasonable. This example shows that if a movement has gained strength, it is better not to argue with it, but to follow the trend. Let's move on. You can see that here we are moving back towards the main movement, so we're going up again. A slight deviation is observed, which is quite natural within the general upward movement. There are no signs of serious changes yet, which indicates that the current direction is being maintained. Everything is developing calmly and consistently. A case where you don't need to complicate things. Let's move on. Now I'm seeing the divergence again. The chart continues to grow while the indicator shows a decline. This is a sign that the upward momentum is weakening. In such situations, a reversal often starts. I'm going to go down based on the fact that the current movement may intensify. If the dynamics continues, there is a probability that the chart will overcome an important zone where the stops occurred earlier. Once again, my attention to detail helped me analyze the situation. Moving on. What we have here. After a period of decline, there is a confident upward movement, which overlaps the previous part of the decline. This may indicate a change of mood and strengthening of the upward dynamics. Additional parameters are also starting to point in the same direction. Taking into account the situation, we can expect a continuation of the upward movement, with an eye on the nearest zone where the stops occurred earlier. Both the chart and the indicator are pointing in the same direction, which means that the decision is well considered. Let's move on to the next pair. Let's look closely. The overall movement remains upward, but there is now a slight decline and temporary stabilization on the chart. This condition often precedes a new impulse. Based on the current picture, I see reasons to expect a continuation of growth. So, I consider the possibility of an upward movement if the current conditions persist. Movements like this are often the launching point for a strong movement. We're taking advantage of it. Moving on in the final stage ahead. The situation is similar to the previous one, but now we're at the bottom of the current range. After the decline, an upward movement appears, which may indicate a change of direction. Such formations often precede a gradual recovery, not pulling, going up. We end the session on a strong note. The upward movement was expected, and we took advantage of it. Let's be honest. You just spent a few minutes watching this video, and now you have two ways to go. The first is to close the tab and just go back to your normal routine. The second is to step into new possibilities and see what a different approach might look like. Our community is a space for those who choose to move consciously. There, I share experiences, break down systematic steps, and support those who really want to figure it out. Many of my members started small and continue to grow, each at their own pace. And maybe it's your turn now. If you feel like it's time, the link is in the first pinned comment. Join. It all starts with the first step, and you choose if it's today. That's it for me. Thanks for being with me, and see you in the community.